Hi Zach, it's Steve from Ideal Classic Cars. I just wanted to take a quick second and show you the Cobra. We got it right here in the back of our facility. Go ahead and take you around the car the best I can, give you a real accurate idea of what it is that you're looking at and what this car looks like here in person. First thing I wanted to point out is that paint. Look at that reflection off that. I mean, it's like glass all over this car. Absolutely beautiful job that they've done putting this thing together. Super solid. You can see that it doesn't flex at all hitting it here. Not flimsy like some people would think a fiberglass car would be. As you move down the side here, you can see that the emblem is put on very well. Just the attention to detail throughout the car is very nice. The doors line up beautifully. And something pretty unique about the B&B kits, when you move to the interior here, look how nicely finished the inner door is. All in leather seats, has a Simpson race harnesses. You've got your 6x9 three-way speakers there. Your speakers in the dash. I mean, this is probably one of the most well-appointed Cobras that we've ever had in here. And again, looking across the paint as we move to the rear, pardon the dust here, you can see that it's absolutely beautiful. This is that 3M stuff that I was telling you about to protect the side here. You can see where the rocks would come up and get kicked up from the front tire and hit here. You can see the outline of that. And I just noticed too that they also have it around the rear edge. So that's something that's really cool. It's going to protect the finish and look of this car for a long time to come, especially if you're out there having fun with it, and it will kick up a little bit of rocks and tire tread here and there with the power it makes. As you look across the trunk here, you can see that it lines up beautifully, extremely uniform all the way around. Just one very, very nicely built car. You can see the chrome here is in beautiful condition as well. No signs of pits, hazing, dents, dings, scratches. They're not perfect. I don't want you to get the thinking in your head that this is a perfect car. Like I told you, there are some very, very minor issues with the paint. Let's go ahead and get on that spot that I was telling you about in the rear. It is located right up here, and I actually have to get the light on it just right for you to see it, but I'm going to try my best here. Hold on just a moment. All right. And as we're looking at, I don't even know if you'll be able to see it, but it's being incredibly picky on the paint, but there's just a little bit of orange peel right there. They could use some wet sanding, but as you can see, just beautiful paint job. You got to be really nitpicky to really get that one apart. Other than that, going around the front end of the car, I'm going to get in really close here. The camera's only about an inch away from the surface. You can see that there aren't even any rock chips in the front of this. We've got $200,000-$300,000 cars that have rock chips in them. So it's definitely a very, very, very nice finish on the car. The trim, no pitting, no nothing around there. The lights and all the accessories do work. And that brings us to your knockoff style rims. Very nice clear coat on these. You can see that there's no destruction from brake dust or somebody putting a tire on wrong. The tires have a ton of tread on them, 90%, 95%. Definitely something you're not going to have to do any kind of labor to the car to go out and enjoy it and have fun. You got your disc brakes up underneath there. And we'll work down this side here again. Beautiful paint work. The door on the driver's side rather lines up amazingly well. And look at that reflection. I mean, that is just beautiful. Again, your 3M protectant here and here. Once we move to the inside, doors are pretty tricky. They have a hidden lever here, kind of hidden, to open them up rather than a lever on the door. They open very solid. Here's the vehicle identification number right in there, built in Boston, Mass. As we move inside, it's got the original style wood dash, wood steering wheel in the black. I love how they did this. Plenty of room down inside if you're a little bit bigger of a guy. I'm a little over 6 foot, and I actually fit comfortably in this car. Go ahead and show you here. As you can see, very nice fit, very comfortable. Everything's right within reach that I need to get to. Let's go ahead and get this thing fired up. Starting process, 2 pumps on the carb. This thing's dialed in beautifully. And she starts right up. The only thing that is not hooked up yet on this car, I noticed, is the tachometer. Other than that, everything's beautiful. There's stellar oil pressure. Anything above 20 is great. This was a cold start. Fuel gauge is working. Temperature gauge works. Obviously, it's cold. Voltage is great. Kicker, only 22,000 miles on this car. You start it up, it sits on a nice high idle like you can hear now. You blip the throttle once, it goes down to a medium idle. In about 30 seconds to a minute, depending on temperature, it'll go down to a low idle of about 700 RPM. But I want to show you here, it does have your turn signals located not by a goofy switch like some cars. It's set up logically like any other car would be. Your power steering, I can go ahead and show you this sitting here. I mean, that's just beautiful.
Alright, so we're going to go for a quick test drive down the main road here. It's about a 45, 55 mile an hour road, and I really want to highlight just how nice and comfortable this car is. Very quick and fun to drive at the same time. It's rare to get that combination in a car. This Cobra definitely has it nailed right. Has power steering, power brakes, and a beautifully set up suspension. Let's hit it. Very minimal pressure, but still enough feedback that you know what you're doing with the car and you feel confident driving it at the limit should you choose to. Another thing to point out too, we've been driving here now, it's still sitting at 170 degrees. We're in Florida, warm weather. I mean, this car's just set up as a great driver that you don't have to worry about.